Hi everyone, my name is Cindy Ngamba and I'm a Cameroonian citizen. I lived in the UK for many years, ever since I left Cameroon when I was 11 years old. I represented the refugee Olympic team in the Paris 2024 and I won a bronze medal for the refugee team. I became what I am right now. Obviously, I moved to the UK when I was 11 years old, and I had to adapt into the lifestyle. English wasn't very much my first language, and French was my first fluent language. Having to learn the language and adapt into the lifestyle was a bit hard for me. And through playing and being interested into sport ever since I left Cameroon, I was able to find boxing as a sport and a hobby that I can take a bit further in the elite level. And it was through boxing that I was able to kind of find myself, learn a lot about myself, grow as a woman, and learn a lot how to stand up for myself and become a bit more as a introvert and introvert instead of an extrovert, and be able to kind of achieve goals and aim for me. And I was set off a goal for me to go to Olympic, and that's when I was able to achieve and win a medal at the Olympic for myself and for the refugee Olympic team. I started boxing when I was 15 years old, and I won loads of championships in the UK, and I was always on the good radar. But then I got assessed by GB Boxing, Great Britain, and then I couldn't join the team because I was still didn't have the right paper. But they were able to kind of help me to get hold of the refugee community, and through getting hold of them, I was able to sign an application and tell them a bit of my history or what I've achieved in boxing. And that's when I was able to become a scholarship holder. And through becoming a scholarship holder, I was able to travel all around the world and compete all around the world through the support funding from the Refugee Federation. And through that, England Boxing, Great Britain was still supporting me because they believed that I had a talent that they didn't want me to make it go to waste. And through that, I was able to go to Milan and qualify for the Olympic, and becoming the first ever refugee to qualify for the Olympic and go to the Olympic and win a medal for the refugee team and myself, and win a bronze medal. I was able to come back to my hometown, the UK, with the bronze medal. I would say I'm a refugee. I'm one of a million. There's millions out there all around the world in every country, that are still fighting and they're still fighting battle. They're still fighting for peace. They're still fighting for, to find themselves, and they're still fighting to make themselves heard, and they're still fighting to not be silent. And I believe that through what I've achieved and through who I am and being a refugee myself and what I've accomplished and what I will accomplish in the future, I can kind of lead the way for many refugees all around the world and give them the hope of, not staying silent, and go and get what they want in life and keep on striving in life. And there's so many things that they can and choose a career pathway into. For me, it was boxing. I believe that sport is a massive thing that can help, the present generation and the next generation for the future. Because sport helps a lot of people. It motivates them. It makes them stronger. It gives them hope. It gives them something to look, to pursue a career in, and it create a pathway and a journey for themselves. I believe that sport, inspire many everyone all around the world, and inspire boys and girls and adults and teenager kids and entertainers, and it gives us something to look forward to. We have role models that we see as we want to be like them when we grow up, and people inspire us, they motivate us, they give us something to hope for. And I think within sport we can kind of inspire loads of kids to take part in any sport that they can, to learn a lot about themselves, to show the world all around the world that anyone can take part into sport. Doesn't matter whether you're a female or a male, doesn't matter what age you are, and their voice can be heard, and and they can kind of express themselves within sports. My inspiration in life come from being a Cameroonian girl. when I left Cameroon, I was very determined child, and I grew up with loads of siblings, and my siblings were very hard, and my mom was very hard, and my mom has always said that, if you want something, you will go and get it, and never let no one tell you that you cannot get what you want. I've always been into sport, and I always used to play with my brother when he used to hang out with his friends, so I believe that if I want something, I'm going to go and get it, and I've always believed that I will kind of create a career for myself within sport. And I felt like within boxing, I was learning every day. I was learning a lot of myself. I was improving every day, and there was different pathway open for me, and there were loads of people that wanted to support me and help me. And I believed that I had the talent and the gift, and if I'm able to kind of take this boxing serious too far as I can, I'm going to take it as far as I can, really. My approach at the moment after the Olympic is to give back to the community, inspire the next generation and the present generation, and I'm trying to advertise a bit more about sport, because boxing and other sport what helped me. I started boxing in a youth club. Youth club is like a club where loads of kids can kind of be kept out of the street, learn a lot about different kind of sport, participate in different sport, different activities, and and kind of find a way on the career pathway, with whether it's to help them with CV or how they can go about with life and keep them out of the street of trouble. And within the youth club, I was able to kind of find boxing, and I was able to take it a bit further in career-wise. And look at me, I've gone to Olympic and I won a medal. And if that youth club in my town wasn't there, I would have not been able to know about boxing. And for me, it's very much about advertising sport and just worldwide, and just show that if any kid can participate in any sport and they can take it as a career pathway further in life, this will be beneficial for themselves. My young advice for any teenager or young people, everyone all around the world, and in Cameroon too, or in the UK too, or in France, or everyone in the world, would be to keep on working hard and keep on believing in yourself. Through hard work and through resilience, you can achieve anything that you put your mind to. Never let no one tell you that you can't achieve into something, and even if they do, double the hard work and keep on pushing and keep your head down. And also, don't act like you know it all. No one knows it all. I don't know it all. I went to the Olympic and I won a medal, and I still don't know it all. Every day is a learning day for me, and you kind of have to accept that every day is a learning day, because you never know what can happen within a couple of months, couple of weeks, or couple of years. So keep on working hard. There's going to be a light at the end of the tunnel. It's not always going to be hard. Hard moments don't always last, but through believing in yourself and keep on working hard, there's going to be sunshine. My vision of Africa is, I lived in Cameroon, and it was the most amazing memories I can remember for myself. It was the most my country was the most beautiful country ever, and I was a child, and it had all the facility at the age that I needed. But I think as I grew up a bit older, my mom did not feel as there was a career pathway for me in Africa, or I would have had as much support as I got a bit older. So I was able to join my father back in the UK, for a better life, for a better future, and also to be around my dad and my sibling, because I have family members in the UK and my dad in